So I'm guessing now we've got 15 degrees outside in the air and maybe 20-ish or early 20s on the track.
It's a beautiful circuit, this Tail and Bend Motorsport Park. 18 turns, 4.95 kilometres long. It's a lot of concern about tyre wear around this circuit. It's shown to give some really great racing as well. A kilometre long straight. We see some speeds of up to 300 kilometres an hour in the 1,000 class. Not so quick in the AP250s that we're looking at the moment, but there was some absolute fantastic racing in this class yesterday. And let's have a look at the race from yesterday. It was an absolute cracker for the Kawasaki team.
Yeah, wasn't it? You saw the heavyweights in this class, if you can call a lightweight class having heavyweights, Muqtada Sarapech and Andy Fadley. They were joined in a battle at the front by Fadley's new teammate, the Japanese rookie, Eiki Iyoshi.
And it was the Kawasaki team up front, but Muqtada, I mean, my goodness, what an aggressive start to the race she had. But it was Akiyoshi on the Kawasaki Manual Tech KYT Kawasaki racing team that took to the front for the first time in this class. It didn't work out so well for number 88, of course. That was Nazarul. He took to the dirt, but Muqtada wanted to show that she was going to stick with the two Kawasaki's. In my mind, this is the first time we've had two Kawasaki's up towards the front of the race. New last year, that bike, it's really come on song now. Andy Fadley took a lunge to the lead, and Muqtada took a lunge to the dirt.
She did take a lunge to the dirt. She kept it pinned and came back on, lost very little time as it happened. And there you see another aggressive move there.
They did pull away a little bit, though, of course, from the man in first place, fourth place, Tachikorn Busarai. He was back in fourth at this point, and then the battle was on in the last couple of laps. Andy Fadley had a look to make sure that it was just down to these three, and it was. Muqtada at this point was looking very, very strong. And it looked at that stage like 108 Andy Fadley was going to fade to the back. Akiyoshi was doing a brilliant job on the number 37 Kawasaki, but we did have some fallers in the field as well. Unfortunately, I think that was Awan Sanjaya from memory who went down in that one. But Andy Fadley led over the line, and I think it was at this point we saw Fujiwara. How excited was he when he knew that he had a chance to get two Kawasaki's on the road, but Muqtada was having nothing into that final lap. She was an absolute weapon.
Yeah, these riders didn't leave anything behind in the garage at all, did they? At this point, Muqtada was confident of winning, or believed she could win anyway.
Until Andy Fadley.
But so was Fadley.
Yeah, he was a little bit wide there for the number 44 rider, allowed the two Kawasaki's back past, and then it was on between Akiyoshi and the 108, Andy Fadley over the line. Kawasaki 1-2, first time ever here at the Bend. So what a brilliant result for Kawasaki. History made yesterday in this class.
Yeah, and as you said, Steve, Katsuaki Fujiwara, a very happy man to start the day there. He was later became even more happy, as we'll see later on this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a brilliant race that was yesterday. If you didn't miss that, if you missed it, you've got to try and find it on the internet or something. But for now, let's head down to Wheeling. She's on the grid.
All right, thank you, Steve and Barry. Down here on the grid with Satu Rajiv. Rajiv, the weather looks very different from yesterday. The wind is slightly stronger. How do you think that will affect the race today, or will it not?
So, as it affects me, it affects everyone. So it's fine for me. Not a big deal.
So you qualify in 12th position in the middle of the grid. Share with us, how are you looking to stay closer to the front group today?
So if I have a good start, I can be with the front group because we have a good straight before the turn one.
This is
so
for him.
It's all about taking a good start and joining the bunch.
All right, thank you so much, Rajiv. Good luck for your second race. And we're going to go right behind to Rajiv on P15. Spot, we have Anggi Setiawan. So he's Yamaha Racing Indonesia. Anggi, how are you doing before race 2?
Yes. Untuk hari ini saya mungkin fokus, saya bekerja semaksimal mungkin untuk menghadapi race 2 ini. Saya terus bekerja untuk race ini semaksimal mungkin. Terima kasih.
So today the weather is a bit colder, as I spoke to Rajiv as well, compared to yesterday. Do you think this will affect your race?
The race untuk race dengan kondisi seperti ini mungkin kita sudah beradaptasi dari kemarin. Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you so much, Anggi. Good luck for race 2, and I'll throw it back to Steve and Barry in the studio.
Thank you very much, Wei Ling. Always good to hear from our riders down on the grid. It was a historic day yesterday with the Kawasaki 1 and 2. Do you think they can do it again today, Barry?
It's going to be a little bit more difficult for them today because what we haven't mentioned yet is that Fadley, as the race winner yesterday, because his lead in the championship has now stretched beyond 25 points over the man in 5th, who is Owen Sanjaya, he's got a cut in his rev limit by 500. So the Kawasaki's normally have a rev limit of 14,750 as governed by the control ECU. That's now been cut to 14,250. So that should give his teammate, who was very close to him yesterday, very close, a significant advantage.
Yeah, well, that'll be really interesting to see as we look at Andy Fadley now, the man with that minus 500 RPM limit there. You can see that just up there, the Manual Tech Racing rider. It's going to be really interesting to see how that 500 difference makes, because yesterday they were very similar in speed, weren't they? Today, of course, Akiyoshi, the Japanese, has got that little bit more RPM on board, and around this big circuit I think RPM could be everything. There he is. He's got to be feeling very confident knowing the speed that he had yesterday. He could be in for his first win.
Yeah, he could indeed. And I was talking to Fadley's crew chief this morning. He told me that they've remapped everything, but I noticed from the top speeds in the warm-up that he's probably 8 kilometres an hour slower on the straight than he was yesterday.
Really? Well, that's going to be interesting to see. What about this young lady, Maklada? She really could be in with a big shot too.
Muqtada Sarapech, yeah, definitely one of the heavyweights in the class, much feared by her rivals. She thought she deserved the win yesterday. She made a small mistake, and that was enough to cost her 2 places, so she finished in 3rd. So she'll be looking for P1 today, no doubt. And
yeah,
she might be helped by that slight disadvantage to Fadley too. Yeah,
really looking forward to see how that all pans out. It should be a really, really interesting race, that's for sure. Owen Sanjaya, of course, qualifies in the 2nd row. Let's hope that he has a much better race than he had yesterday, because he ended up having to walk back to the pit box.
Yes, he did, yeah. And indeed, I saw him and all the other Astra Honda riders last night in the KFC in Murray Bridge.
KFC.
So let's see what effect that has on that. That might be worse than having a 500 cut to your rev limit.
What were they saying? Were they saying, I mean, looking at the Kawasaki's, they seemed to be pretty dominant yesterday. Were they saying anything?
There's a bit of head scratching going on in that Astra Honda garage. They're used to winning.
As we have a look at Ray Ratakuri, a good race from him yesterday. Do you think he can improve from his 5th position this time out?
He can improve from 5th. He might be able to get closer to the people at the front. He's the fastest Yamaha rider, but those 3 at the front were, I think, 6 seconds clear of the rest of them when they crossed the line. So he's got his work cut out, but he's a very, very good rider. And if they've made some good changes to that Yamaha overnight, who knows? It'd be good to see him there anyway.
Sits 10th in the championship. There's Ray Ratakuri. Of course, Pia Watts had a good race yesterday. The number 188 machine finished, where did they finish yesterday? In 6th position, so not a bad result, but once again, just could find a couple of tenths and move up if at all possible. So it'd be interesting to see how they go. The riders just putting their helmets on now. A quick look there at number 149. That's Tachi Korn. He was up in the action as well yesterday.
Yes, he was. He had a reasonably good finish. He was 4th, so he was the best of the rest yesterday.
Yeah, the best of the rest. That was a good result for him, but that's not where he wants to be, especially with guys like Nazarul, who had that off-track excursion yesterday. Do you think that if he can keep it all together, that you can see his results there are just getting better and better all the time? So there's a trend in better performance for him.
Yeah, he's improving all the time, and the team's improving all the time too. It's a really strong team, that. We're looking here at number 12 now, Lucky Hendriancia. Disappointing weekend so far for him. He was running with the leaders, of course, in Sepang. He qualified 12th. Yesterday, where did he finish yesterday? He finished in 15th, so he had some problems in the race yesterday.
Yeah, definitely wasn't as lucky as his name would suggest in the race yesterday. Let's hope he can turn that around and that we can get a really close race in this Asia Production 250 race. Of course, 9 laps long this race, and these bikes are virtually mini super bikes, aren't they?
Yeah, they're basically homologated for racing, these 250s. You can see the stumpy tail section there of Mukladar's AP Honda there on the outside of the front row, designed to help the top speed, because you can change the shape of these bikes as well. Yeah,
Kawasaki's still resemble pretty much the original road form when you look at it compared to perhaps the Hondas.
Yeah, and it's a really good bike, this new Ninja 250.
You can see the camera shaking around. That's not because we've got a shaky cameraman. The wind is starting to pick up here this weekend, so it's going to be a very interesting race, especially with these little 250s as they head off on the warm-up lap now. It's certainly the wind can affect them.
Yeah, that's for sure, and it was really blustery on Friday. We had a beautiful day yesterday. The wind dropped and the temperatures came up, but we're pretty much back to Friday conditions now.
Well, let's have a look at the grid. Andy Fadley starts from pole position with Akiyoshi in second. Muklada takes her spot on the front row in third. Awan Sanjaya hopes to have a better race this time out in the first spot on the second row of the grid. Reynaldo Ratakuri in fifth, and sixth is Piawat, so on his CBR AP Honda Racing Thailand Honda. Then we move to row 3. It's Tachikorn, who could be in for a good run. Nazarul, who's got the pace if he can keep it on the track. Lucky, who hopes to have a good run this time out. Row 4 is Muzakar, and then Irfan and Setu Rajiv, who we saw on the grid just before riding on his Idemitsu Honda racing machine. Row 5 is Ferozi. We haven't talked much about Ferozi from Indonesia. He could have a good ride this time around. Sutipat's there in 14th. 15th is Anggi Setuwan. Khao Ki Lung for 16th. Khao Vietnam from Vietnam, of course, and Senthil Chandra Sakon in 18th position. There's more, though, because row 7 is Samapol Nilapong. 20th is Lu Junmai. Cheryl Shiraz in 21st. 22nd is the BRP Racing rider Stuart Johnson, and Kevin Johnson next to him with Cheryl Ezewan Mold Sharil in 24th position.
Yeah, some very young riders there. Sawapon is 15, Kevin Johnson's 14, and Stuart is 16.
Yeah, it's incredible. That's the other thing that these small classes bring through, isn't it? They bring through the young talent. Most of the guys would have started in the underbone class and then moved up to this 250 class.
Yeah, the Thai riders come through, they start on underbones and they start racing like the CBR 150s and then move on to these. India has no underbones, but so they come through on the 150s, 165s. And it's good to see Setu Rajiv moving up the order. He qualified well. He finished 10th yesterday. They've made some changes to that Indian team. They have huge support from their home fans. So hello to everybody who's watching in India. It's still quite early there.
Yeah, he's literally come on leaps and bounds this year, has Setu Rajiv. I'm really looking forward to his progress throughout the year as the riders head towards the line now to take their grid positions for this reasonably long 9-lap race around here. It doesn't sound long in laps, but it is a very long lap around here with plenty of turns, 18 turns, twists and curves. It's not flat either here. It's undulating and lots of blind corners. A very hard track to learn. You can see one of the riders there doing a bit of chest pumping, just getting things ready before we get ready for the starts. In the starters' hands at the moment. Red flag is up, the green flag is out. The marshals are walking off the track. We're getting ready to start this 9-lap race. The revs are up, the lights are on. and they are away. And it looks like McLaren got a brilliant start, but not as good as Akiyoshi. He's leading this one at the moment with Fadley. Those Kawasaki's very good off the line, and they're working in tandem at the moment. Owen Sanjaya's there as well. You can see him on the number 198 machine. And watch out for the 88, of course. Dives up the inside. That's Nazarul. He was off track yesterday, but managed to put himself right up near the front. A good start from him.
Fantastic start from Nazarul.
Oh, big moment. That's Fadley. Fadley's gone down. Oh, he had a moment here in the same spot last year. He's okay, but unfortunately, Andy Fadley, the championship leader, has gone down. Oh, what a terrible crash. I can't wait to see a replay of that and see what actually happened. But he didn't give his tyres enough time to warm up by the look of that. Got on the gas a little bit too quickly, but we'll get a replay before. The team don't know what's happened yet. They haven't seen it, but they'll find out. Let's have a look. Keep your eye on the second green bike in the pack there. He's tipped it in. He's hard on the brakes. He's had to nip up the side. He's already lost the rear there and flicked himself over the handlebars. Thankfully, he's okay. It's quite slow when you're on the brakes into that corner, but the rear end just came around, Barry.
Yeah, what a shame for Fadley. Just as it was all going so well for him, he got his first win ever yesterday at this circuit and in the championship. He's okay, as you say, but this has really changed the complexion of this race, which is now being led by Nazarul.
Yeah, it certainly has, and I'll tell you what, it's also put Akiyoshi in a great position for the championship as well, especially if he was to win this one. He'd pick up 25 points and then put him right up near the front, perhaps maybe equal, I think, on points. So it would have to see, or perhaps a couple of points in front of the championship. So Akiyoshi now has come from nowhere at the start of the year. He could be leading the championship if he wins this race.
Yeah, and AP Honda's Tachikorn is the man in the lead currently.
Yeah, good to see Tachikorn up there on the AP Honda Thailand machine, right out the front, and it's good to see a different mix at the front. McLeod's definitely got work to do. There's Owen Sanjaya in the back, and Lucky Hendricksaya got a better start as well. He's in that lead group at the moment. The group, about 8 riders big.
Yeah, we could see us Ray Ratakuri next to Nazarul there.
Yeah, good to see the teammates there working together side by side down the straight, but it is the 149 Tachikorn with the AP Honda Racing Thailand rider leading this race. Good to see them up front. We're used to seeing, as you say, Astra Honda. In fact, I think Astra Honda got a 1-2-3 here last year.
Yes, they did in race 2, and we're also used to seeing this kind of number of bikes, 8 to 10 bikes in the leading group. We broke with that yesterday when we had those 3 run away at the front. But now this could be a much closer race with a few more people with chances to get on the podium.
Well, it looks like Tachikorn is definitely riding very aggressive at the moment. He's taking it all the way to Akiyoshi. Got another faller there. That is the number 33 machine of Lujun Mai of the Bike Corner SYS KYT racing team. So unfortunately, he's gone down and won't be able to compete in this race. But meanwhile, look who's making her way to the front.
Yeah, guess who that could be?
Yep.
That's Muqtadan now, third and slicing.
You can't pass there, Muqtadan.
Maybe somebody forgot to tell her.
Yeah,
so you got AP Honda 1 and 3 now.
Yeah, she is like definitely on an absolute mission, but that is a massive gaggle of bikes now, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic to see all of the different riders up there. Where are the Astra Hondas?
We've got Owen in 5th position. He's the leading Astra Honda there currently. Irfan with the distinctive pink helmet, he's on the back of that group.
I guess one of the differences that we can talk about quickly is Andy Fadley comes into the pit. Not much they can do to fix him. His day's over, but we can talk about the control ECU that's been introduced this year. Do you think that could be the reason that the Astra Hondas have been brought back a little bit?
I don't think so. They took the average power, the peak power revs and used that as a base, but they used it across the whole field. So it should be, if they had any advantage before, it could have taken away from them, I guess.
A little bit, yeah. Okay. Well, that's at least it's made it a very interesting race here today. We've got 4, 5, 6 bikes out the front at the moment. There's still a long way to go. 7 laps to go in this race. Look up the inside. It's Lucky who's nipped up in another spot there and moves himself up into 5th position. So Lucky Hendricksaya there, good job by him. Yeah,
good to see him in the mix. And I noticed also that Senthil, the second of the Indian riders, has pulled into the pits. So we've now just got from India, we've only got Setu Rajiv out, and he's currently in 11th position, so he's going okay, just in that second group.
Meanwhile, back up front, it's hard to pick a leader at the moment. Bikes are going all over the place, but it is Nazarul who's a lot more competitive than he was yesterday. What could have been if he didn't run off earlier on? He's diving up the inside there. Slightly different conditions today, and it's mixed things up a lot. The Kawasaki's don't seem as dominant as they were yesterday, especially at this part of the race.
Yeah, something's definitely changed. You've got the two Thai Hondas, the AP Hondas at the front, and you've got Nazarul chasing them, and Aki Yoshi just behind them. And he looked quicker yesterday too.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the lap times they're doing at the moment. They're in the 2:08s at the moment. So just to put that into perspective, from the times that they did yesterday, they were doing 2:07.2. So the lap times at the moment are a lot slower. You've got to put that down to the call and conditions outside, I would guess.
Yeah, for sure. And you've got Lucky Hendriancia. He's moved into 3rd position now. So he's making his presence felt. And indeed, who's in 3rd position? You tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. There's at least 3 or 4 people in 3rd position there. But nobody told McLaren to slow down. She's split the pack on this lap. This is going to be a really fast lap from McLaren Sarah Butch. She's... whoa, big moment there. Is that Ray Rathakuri? Didn't quite catch the number.
That is.
Didn't quite catch the number of that machine, but it was definitely either the 88 or the 222. So we will let you know when we know. That was Nazarul that ran off the track there, and Ray Ratakuri's moved himself up into 3rd position. So good result. But McLaren that time round with a 208, the only person in the 208. So she's really starting to stretch the field. But in saying that, Lucky Henry Sire has put himself in the 2nd. That's much better than yesterday.
Yeah, Lucky's got himself back up there. Perhaps it was the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Let's have a look at the number 44 as she comes out onto the straight there. And keep an eye on the background there. You can see Nazarul. He did it yesterday too, but that is not the fast line out of turn 18 here at the bend. And he lost a lot of ground. Lucky to get away with it. They kept it on the angle, on the dirt, and didn't fall off. So yeah, impressive stuff. Yeah,
he just fell to the back of that group. So
yeah,
he can make that time up.
Yeah, absolutely. They're riding so much better than they were yesterday. Everybody much closer to the front. Tachikorn is impressive out there as well. Reynaldo Ratakuri, Ray is doing a good job too.
Yeah, very different complexion to this race from yesterday's.
McLaren now, the gap to her is just starting to close down. Lucky Hendrik Sayer is doing a good job at keeping that gap and closing it down, with the number 149, of course, Tachikorn in tow as well. The last thing that he wants to do is finish 3rd while his teammate wins.
That's right, and it's Honda 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's probably back to usual formation with the Hondas. They seem to have been dominant in the last couple of years, but the Kawasaki's strong now.
Yeah, and so strong yesterday, of course. And there he goes, Aki Yoshi.
Just on the brakes now, they head down the hill into that really tight turn as they head on, slipstreaming down behind the bubbles. Kiyoshi's wondering what's going on. It's not so easy this time out. I'm sure at the start of this race, he would have thought, I've got 500 more revs than my teammate. I'm going to win this. Not to be.
As we were assuming, this is racing, and as we know, it's full of surprises. And this is a good surprise, not for Fadley, but for the people watching, that we have so many bikes that have got a chance to get on the podium here.
Yeah, absolutely. McLaren still leads out front. She is so impressive, knows exactly how to ride a motorcycle to its limit, and she's not afraid to be aggressive when she needs to be. She's led more laps than anybody out the front at the moment. If anybody else in this pack, as we look at Lucky Hendrik Sayer from the Astra Racing Honda team, do you think that he can pull her in?
He's capable of doing it. He's clearly trying to at the moment. I think we're just going to have to watch this over a couple of laps and see what happens.
Now Kiyoshi just sitting in there at the moment. Podium yesterday for him, sits 2nd in the championship on the Kawasaki Manual Tech KYT racing machine. Gee, difficult for him. He hasn't got his teammate to rely on yesterday, but he certainly has grown up quickly in this championship. So really good to see him up there as he looks for a dive up the inside, but not to be had yet. Closing that gap down now to Lucky Hendrik Sayer.
And this could play into the hands of Muqtadar, of course, who's out of the front.
up the inside.
Yeah, let's see if Akiyoshi can do anything about that slender lead of Muqtadar's.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's that big now, does it? It looks like the Kawasaki man is on a little bit of a mission. Perhaps now that we've got 5 laps to go out of this 9-lap journey, the absolute grip of the tyre has just started to disappear a bit. Maybe he's looked after his tyre a bit better. He's certainly getting on the gas more now on the lean angle. Perhaps the Dunlop's a little bit harder, take a little bit more time to warm up, and he really is getting into it now.
Yeah, and he's lining up Muqtadar, and he's through.
He made a meal of that, straight through, not a problem at all. And Muqtadar went from a 0.6 of a second lead to now she's second by half a second.
Yeah, so let's see what happens on the straight here. We saw that happen really fast yesterday.
Well, you know how he did it, Barry. He did it by going, Muqtadar did a 208.6 last time round, and Akiyoshi did a 207.2, 1.6 seconds a lap quicker in one lap, and that was very, very impressive. But Muqtadar now is responded and has dived back in front.
Yeah, no surprise there from the combative Thai. She's 25 years old now, and of course she was the 2015 Asia Dream Cup champion when that One Make series was running together with the ARRC.
Well, the way she's riding at the moment, she wants to be the AP250 champion in 2019. She's certainly on a mission. Got a race win in round 1 in Sepang earlier this year, and now she's on for another one here.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to bet against her, would you?
No, definitely not. Second in the race yesterday. Sorry, no, she got third in the race yesterday, did Muqtadar on the podium, and she didn't look happy with that third place. If you remember her standing on the podium yesterday, she was not smiling at all.
She had the look of a winner who's just finished third. There was a plan going on then. Yeah. I saw her in, she was pretty straight-faced in her pit this morning, just before warm-up. Normally she'll sort of bounce around and chat, but she's really on a mission today.
Oh, the number 222, Ray Ratakuri, runs off track as well. We've seen him and his teammate hit the dirt quite a few times. Of course, we saw Nazarul earlier on running off the dirt, heading onto the start-finish straight. So they're not scared to hit the dirt, those ex-boys, are they?
No, they're not. And Ray Ratakuri, once again, he seems to be establishing himself as the leading Yamaha rider in this championship. See how he goes and see if he can do anything about closing the gap to that front 4.
The Yamahas are looking good, looking better than they've looked in a little while in this class, so it is good to see those guys up there, and really look forward to them dicing towards the front of this pack and taking it to the Hondas and the Kawasaki's.
Yeah, you've got the 2 Astra Hondas, Owen Sanjaya and Irfan Ardiancia in 6th and 7th position. They're ahead of the second running Yamaha, that's Nazarul's, and then you've got Piawat in 9th and Muzakir on another Yamaha in 10th position. Setu Rajiv is 11th.
Doesn't look like anybody can say with Akiyoshi out front at the moment. Big gap that he's pulled now, just over 1.5 seconds out the front with 3 laps to go. That's a bit of a dangerous gap, and Muqtadar knows it, and she dives up the inside, as does Lucky Hendrisaya as well, to nip into 3rd position.
Yeah, Steve, if they're going to have a chance of catching the Japanese rider, they're going to have to work together and not tangle each other up.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, though, if those 3 Hondas will work together to try and pull the Kawasaki back, because he just seems to be on a mission at the moment. He's just done another 207.2, a second a lap quicker than the gaggle behind him. So he's got some real pace.
That is terrific pace. Of course, the Japanese domestic series, the JSB Championship, does breed some very, very quick, tough riders, and Akiyoshi seems to be very much from that genre.
Just to put that lap time into perspective, just off lap record pace now for Akiyoshi. The current lap record is 207.249 by Andy Mohammed Fadley. He set that yesterday, didn't get a chance to do that today, crashed early on, but 207.257 the speed now, the lap time that Akiyoshi's doing. McLarda throwing up a smokescreen.
Yeah, another little excursion for her. She doesn't seem to worry her too much.
No. I guess at this circuit there are places you can do that. Not ideal, but because there's been virtually no rain at this circuit, it's quite hard packed off the circuit. It does throw off a bit of dust, but you still get pretty good drive by the look of it.
Yeah, and a lot of these riders have been off track, and it hasn't disturbed the bike too much, so they're not worrying about it.
McLarda once again dives up the inside and takes that second spot away. She wants to try everything she can to catch up to Akiyoshi on the Kawasaki out in front. We know that she's not happy with anything other than a win, but she can't pull that gap back, surely.
No, she's got, on the last lap, she was 0.4 slower because she is involved in that battle for second position. She's leading it currently, but that's not really what she's aiming for. But she's got a tall order now. She's going to catch the flying green Japanese at the front.
Well, Tachikon, of course, just missed out on the podium yesterday. He finished in fourth position, so he will be giving it everything he's got. He doesn't want to get another fourth position, which could be possible at the moment if he finished at the back of this group. So number 12, Lucky Henry Sire, at the moment is in fourth. You don't want to finish there. You want to get on the podium as a minimum. So there's going to be a lot of battles going on as we head into 2 laps to go. Won't be long, we'll be on the last lap. And it looks like Akiyoshi at the moment has got things under control. But you never can tell when that lady, McLarda Sarapooch, is behind you.
Exactly right. And just looking at this battle for P2 at the moment, don't underestimate the expectation that exists in the Astra Honda garage. That they're currently fighting for third position. That's not what they're used to at all. As you said, Steve, last year they had a podium lockout. They had a front row lockout in qualifying too.
Absolutely, and they certainly wouldn't be used to being second in the Manufacturers' Championship, the Teams' Championship, sorry, which they are at the moment. They sit on 50 points behind the Kawasaki team on 65 points. So Astra Honda with some definite work to do. And McLarda takes the dirt big time. She didn't need that as they head into the last lap. There's Fujiwara shaking his fist. One of his riders is out. McLarda still maintains that second spot, but it's Akiyoshi out front as they head into the last lap now. And not much McLarda can do from there. She has to defend second. That's not going to be easy. Akiyoshi, it's his race to lose at the moment.
Yeah, Tachikon had a look behind him as they went into that last turn.
Can just have a look now, way wide there, gets out in the dirt, sprays it off the back wheel, and just doesn't even seem to lose any pace at all.
It didn't, did it?
Maybe there's more grip out there than on the track, I don't know, but an absolute incredible ride by McLarda. She is not backing off on that throttle. She's managed to pull out a little bit of a gap now, but this is not for the win. She will not be smiling when she gets off this motorcycle, because Akiyoshi out front is leading now by 1.4 seconds. I can't see it happening, but you can never say never in this 250 racing.
Yeah, it's definitely his to lose. Mukada's really got her head down. She's not troubled now by Tachikon and Lucky Hendriantia behind her. Lucky's going to be pushing for the podium. That's the minimum expectation back in the Astra Honda garage.
Geez, I tell you what though, keep an eye on McLarda. She's closed down that gap. It really is an impressive ride by her, but with a third of a lap to go, I think it's going to be Akiyoshi. It's his race to lose. There's 0.4 of a second back gap now, back down to Tachikon.
You can see why Mukada's got so many fans around Asia and now beyond, because she has got this gritty attitude. She doesn't give up until she crosses the line.
Yeah, how can you not be a fan? I'm a fan already.
Absolutely.
As they head down now into turn 17 for the final time, it's the number 37, Akiyoshi, who's about to take his first win here in the AP250 race. Race 2 at Tailem Bend. He's out of trouble now, just the final bend to go. As they head into the final corner, it's McLarda. Can she keep it together to take second? She manages to stay on track this time, but it is the number 37 machine. It's Akiyoshi who takes the win on the Manual Tech KYT racing machine, with McLarda Sarapech in second position, Tachikon Busarai in third, and Lucky Hendrisire gets that fourth position, and unfortunately for him, misses out on the podium. What an incredible race, Barry.
Yeah, brilliant race. A lot more riders in the mix this time than there was yesterday, and they treated us to a really good race. Tachikon, that's his first podium finish, so that's an AP Honda 2 and 3. They've got 2 bikes on the podium. They're going to be really happy with that. But Akiyoshi, the rookie from Japan, He's got his first victory in this series, so that's cheered up Katsuaki Fujiwara, who saw his, let's say, his main man, the championship leader, Andy Fadley, go out at the very start of the race.
And if my addition is correct, that will put Akiyoshi into the lead of the championship as well. So Akiyoshi has had a pretty impressive weekend down under here in Australia. So Akiyoshi with 68 points now leads Andy Fadley, who didn't get any points this time out on 65. So a brilliant result for Akiyoshi. And boy, he's certainly starting to if you don't know who Akiyoshi is in your race in this class, you'll know pretty soon.
Definitely true. So there's, yeah, brave smile there from Andy Fadley.
Well, Andy Fadley knows that he missed out on a golden opportunity to extend his championship, but I guess that he can take away the fact that he knows that the bike is very, very competitive, and he's in one of the best teams in the paddock now.
Yeah, and Muqtada wasn't able to grab the 25 points.
Absolutely, that's a big bonus as well, because she is a real threat for the championship here.
Yeah, looking at the Astra Honda, what they achieved in that race, the best of them was Lucky Henry Ancia, number 12, who finished 4th. Ray Ratakori, as we've been saying, the best of the Yamaha riders as the results come up now.
Let's have a look at Akiyoshi, who takes the win from Muqtada Sarapuch in 2nd position. Tachiko Mbusarai in 3rd. It's Lucky Hendrisaya in 4th. Ray Ratakuri in 5th. Fan Aransaya in 6th. Owen Sanjay, we didn't talk about him too much. He was off the back a bit. And Nazarul, good result for him in 8th position on the 1XOX TKR Sayag team machine. Piwat in 9th. Bukir in 10th, Mohammed Ferozi in 11th, Sativ Rajiv, we saw him on the grid, 12th, that's another good result for him. Cal Vietnam in 13th, Sutipat in 14th, Cal Kilung in 15th, and Anggi Setawan was in 16th position on his Yamaha Racing Indonesia team. 17th, Salapol Nilapong, 18th, Sharol, 19th, Kevin Johnson, followed by Stuart Johnson. They're always together in the BRP racing team back there, aren't they? Sharul was in 21st. Andy Fadley didn't finish, as did Lujin Mai and Senthil Chandarin. So it was a pretty exciting race, Barry.
Yeah, a great race. We always see great races in this AP250 championship. These bikes are bred for racing. It says Asia production, but there are extensive modifications you can do to the engines and to the suspension. And of course, we've got the control ECU now that evens things out. So there's a happy young man.
Yeah, first win. Wow, that's pretty incredible stuff. Very incredible stuff, isn't it? Really looking forward to watching his career. You can see Ling down there. She's taking photos. Everybody's happy. Muqtada, is that a smile on Muqlada's face?
I'm not sure. Perhaps she's just a bit cold. She won't be too unhappy. I think she won't be too unhappy with that result. There wasn't anything she could do about that Kawasaki in front. The pace of Akiyoshi was just out of reach for the rest of the field today.
Okay, let's head down to Wei Ling now. She is with our winners.
All right, thank you, Steve and Barry. Tashakon, your very first weekend here with the ARRC in the AP250 and your first podium here at the Ben Motorsport Park, but it was not an easy race. Share with us how was the conditions out there.
ถามว่าสภาพสนามและสภาพอากาศที่นี่เป็นไงบ้างสำหรับครั้งแรกของเรา
ก็สำหรับครั้งแรกของเราก็สนามก็ค่อนข้างขี่ยากแล้วก็หนาวลมแรงด้วยครับก็ตั้งแต่แพ็กทิสแรกจนมาถึงแข่งเลยที่2ก็ปรับรถปรับช่วงปรับนักแข่งเองด้วยปรับมาตลอดครับ
This track is quite difficult and windy, and from the AP1 until AP3 we try to find a good setting for the bike until the race, and finally we got it.
Thank you so much, Tasha Khan. Congratulations and picking up her second podium this weekend. Muqtada, you seem to be having the same problem that you had in race 1. So share with us how difficult was it to control your bike while trying to chase the front?
Yeah, today so bad and weather, settling, but in bike, here braking, settling. Okay, today I'm happy and my team, and in the same yesterday, but turned 17. Yet, but settling, I control in the right and the podium. Yeah, finally, thank you for my team AP250 Racing Thailand. Thank you my sponsor. Thank you my family and for my fan. ค่ะขอบคุณนะคะสำหรับแฟนๆชาวไทยที่คอยติดตามแล้วก็สำหรับสนามออสเตรเลียก็มุกพยายามทำเต็มที่แล้วเราได้อันดับทั้งอันดับ2นะคะทั้งเลสแรกแล้วก็เลส2เราได้โพเดียมกลับบ้านนะก็ขอบคุณที่คอยติดตามนะแล้วก็เป็นกำลังใจเดี๋ยวเจอกันสนามไทยนะคะขอบคุณค่ะ
Okay, I'm going to add in one question before you let you go. The next round will be in your home race in Thailand. You've already closed the point to Fadli and Aiki because Fadli did not finish today. So how are you looking forward to your home race?
Yeah, home race, I winner. Today, welcome to Buriram. It's my AP250 winner.
Okay, thank you so much, Muglada. We'll see you shortly on the podium. And today's race 2 winner, Aiki Yoshi. He finished. So big step improvement for you today, Aiki. Although you were stuck behind in the second group, you managed to chase the rider one by one and in the end picked up your first win in the AP250 and the second win for your team this weekend.
I'm happy so now. It was a very good race. I really happy to make it here. Enjoy race yesterday and today. Thank you all the Kawasaki staff and all sponsor. Thank you. ありがとうございます。
Well, there we have it. Perhaps we're going to hear him talk in Japanese now.
緊張してますが今勝てて本当に嬉しいです。次のタイのラウンドでも勝てるように頑張ります。お願いします。
All right, congratulations, Aiki, and we will see all 3 riders on the podium.
Well, there you have it. Boy, Tachikoan had a good setting. Maklada is better, but reckon she's going to win next time out in May 31st to June 2 in Thailand. And our winner, Akiyoshi, well, he won convincingly and definitely put himself in the lead of the championship. But this is how it all happened at Barry. At 108, Andy Fadley was looking pretty confident and extending his lead at this point of the championship. That man there, Akiyoshi, knew that he had a fight on his hands.
Yeah, he did, and there goes Muqtada. The usual ritual, and as they went away,
it was the 2 Kawasaki's that led convincingly off the line, and I think at this point it was looking pretty good. Andy Fadley, though, was way back in the pack and had work to do until this moment where he went round, the back come through, and boom, over the bars he went. At that point, he knew it was all over. There was no coming back from that, and he threw his championship lead away. He came into the pits to see if there was something they could do, but in the end, that was the end of the day. Thank goodness he was okay. Tachikoan was having a good run up the front and wanted to get a podium. Number 33 went down. That was Lu Jin-mai. That was pretty early on in the race, but Tachikoan was up having a good battle with Maklada, and also keep an eye on Akiyoshi in the background there. There was Ray Ratakuri as well, and the number 88 Nazarul competitive, but once again in the dirt like he was yesterday.
just seemed when he went off that time, Steve, he didn't get back into the battle for the podium.
No, certainly didn't. About this point of the race, we were wondering if the Kawasaki's had that little edge that they had yesterday, but it was Akiyoshi who started to make his way towards the front and battle with Maklada. Maklada was giving it everything she had, because we know, Barry, and as we know, Maklada doesn't like to finish second, does she?
No, definitely not. She is a little bit happy with second and third, but she is going to win in Buriram. Remember where you heard it and who you heard it from.
Well, she certainly knows her way around that track, and it's a track that could suit her and her AP Thailand Racing Honda. She was giving it everything she could, but having a big battle with the 3 Hondas out on track there with Lucky Hendren Sire up there in that battle. He finished 4th yesterday. He didn't want to finish 4th again, but as we know now, it wasn't to be his day. As they went across the line, Akiyoshi extended his lead. Maklada took to the dirt this time and didn't even slow down. Fujiwara, he's been doing a lot of fist bumping this weekend.
Yeah, he was grimacing and fist pumping this time. Yesterday he was grinning and fist pumping, so it's a slight change to the team manager's mood. He of course manages the Kawasaki Thailand team as well as the Manual Tech KYT, so he's a busy boy.
Well, as they came over the line, it was hugs in the Kawasaki team. Akiyoshi won, Muklada was second, Tachikorn was third, and Lucky Hendrensire was fourth. There was a lot of screaming and everybody was very, very happy in this race. The AP250 race, the final one here in Tailem Bend for the weekend.
And of course the first podium for Tachikorn.
And now we are ready for the celebrations, of course. We will throw down to Wei Ling for the podium ceremony.
We'll begin the podium ceremony for the Asia Production 250cc Race 2. Coming in third place today, Tachakorn ARRC from AP Honda Racing Thailand. In second place today, also from AP Honda Racing Thailand, Muklada Sarapresh. And today's Asia Production 250cc Race 2 winner from Manotech KYT Kawasaki Racing, Aiki Iyoshi. We'd also like to invite a representative from Manotech KYT Kawasaki Racing to join the riders on the podium. And we will now stand for the national anthem of Japan. President of Motorcycling Australia, Mr. Peter Goddard, to present the riders with their trophies. Coming in third place today from Thailand, Tachakorn ARRC. In second place today, also hailing from Thailand, Muklada Sarapresh. And today's Asia Production 250cc Race 2 from Japan, Aiki Iyoshi. And now to present the Best Team Award, I also like to invite Mr. Roy Chamberlain, the chairman of MA Board Motorcycling Australia, to present the Best Team Award to Manotech KYT Kawasaki Racing.
Well, there you have it. It's Akiyoshi, Muklada and Sarapuch. Tachikorn Busarai in third position. So a great podium for the AP250 class, and that certainly mixed things up in the championship as well. I think we're going to see a new championship leader this time around, and really looking forward to the racing next time out in this class in Thailand, of course. We head there May 31. And I don't know about you, Barry, but really looking forward to getting to Thailand, because I want to see if Muklada, who sits third in the championship now, can live up to what she wants. But let's have a look. Akiyoshi leads now with Andy Mohammed Fadley in second. He lost the championship today. Muklada in third, good position for her. Lucky Hendrisaya fourth. Awan Sanjaya fifth, still some good points to be had for him. Irfan Aradsaya in sixth. Mutakia in seventh. Ray Ratakuri rounds out your top 8 on the 1XOX TWKR SAG racing team. Nazarul, we saw plenty of him on the screen today in ninth. 149, Tachikorn. Good riding from him too. Mohamed Ferozi in 11th, Cal Vietnam in 12th, Setu Raji 13th, Piawat 14th, Angi Setawan 15th, Mohamed Isman Iqbal in 16th from the 6th junior racing team on his Kawasaki with just the 8 points there. And that rounds out your top 16 in the championship of the AP250 championship today. So we are really looking forward to it. But what we will be coming back to in a minute is the ASB 1000. We're going to take a break, but join us after the break, because the big boys are coming out to play.